Hey students, we are starting Unit 8 today, and we're going to start talking about 3D shapes. And 3D shapes can be a lot of fun. If you just remember, there's 3 different dimensions that we're looking at. We're looking at, we talked about 2-dimensional shapes, and we're looking for, the base and the height. Well, now if you can think that we're going to be talking about length, height, and width. So if I was going to draw, and my drawing skills are not the best, if I was going to draw a 3D rectangular prism here, right? See, I told you my skills are really bad, but we'll try this part again. So if I was going to draw this, it looks something like that, right? So you can see there's my 3D box. It's not the best, but So there are some measurements here that you can look at. You can look right here, here, and here. Those are the ones you want to look at when we're looking at a 3D shape. Length, so here would be our length, our height, and our width. So as we go through this today, and we're going to talk about what would happen if we unfolded these 3D shapes also. And those are nets. We're talking about a 3D shape that's unfolded. It's a net. So that's kind of some basics before we get started today. All right, let's take your bell work. Look at your bell work for today. Surface area. We are going to be talking about that actually tomorrow. But I want to give you a quick strategy that'll help you to do that. And the first thing that you have to do is you have to draw a Y. So I'm going to go like this. And then you see those 3 numbers, and this works on rectangular prisms. So we're going to write those 3 numbers down. So we got a 3 and a 4 and a 6. Okay? So we're going to go like this. Okay, what's 3 times 4? 12. What's 4 times 6? 24. What's 3 times 6? 18. Okay, so now we're going to add those numbers together. 12 plus 18 plus 24, and you can use your calculator. 12, 13, 14, and then we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 54. Now, after we get our answer here, we're going to times it by 2. So 54 times 2 is 108 meters squared. Surface area means that we're finding the area of the surfaces and adding them together. So we found the area of this. If you want to think about Christmas time or a birthday, you get a present. It's like how much wrapping paper do you need to cover a box? So this over here, the bottom, the back, and the sides. So that's really what you're doing when you find surface area. And we'll talk more about that in the next day or two. So let's look at number 2. 56 is what percent of 70? Now, this is probably one of the most important things that we teach you in 6th grade is how to do this. So 56 is, okay, this, I'm going to also put this. I like to put is over of, or whole over part. Of means whole, if means part. So 56 is, so it's the part. We do not have the whole. Oh, yes, we do. 70. And we're looking for the percents. We're going to call that X because we don't know what it is yet. So you can use your calculator for this if you'd like. So 56 times 100 is 5,600. And then we have 70 times X is 70X. We're going to divide by 70 on both sides. So if I take 5,600 divided by 70, I get 80. So this is 80%. There you go. So we're going to talk about that later on in the year, but we're introducing that concept a little bit to you there. Okay, let's look at number 3. Money spent on apps per month. Okay, so you can see there. The first thing, and this is a data question, and First thing I do when I deal with data questions, I put the data in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to start out with 2. It's the smallest. No 3s, no 4s, no 5s, no 6s. There's a 7 and an 8. No 9, 10, 11. There's a 12. Then we have 2 16s, a 17, and an 18. Okay, so just to make sure, I'm going to count my data points to make sure that I have them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, looks like we have them all. Another word for mean is average. So we're going to do that first. I think this is a review for you. I know you found averages before. An average means we add up all of our numbers and divide by how many are there. So I'm going to go 2 plus 7 plus 8 plus 12 plus 16 plus 16 plus 17 plus 18 and hit enter. I get 96, and again, I'm going to divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to divide it by 8. And I get 12. So my mean is 12. Now, the next one it's having us find is the median. And a median is a middle. So we're going to find the middle. And the easiest way I can say to do this one is to go, all right, I'm going to go 2 this, I'll go 1 this way, 2, 1, 2. So you got to find the middle. So there's 4 on, there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 2 numbers in the middle. There's not an odd amount of numbers. So what you have to do when there's 2 numbers in the middle is you add them together. So 12 plus 16, and then divide by 2 because there's 2 of them. So my median is 14. The mode, if you can think M-O, another word that has M-O at the beginning is most. So what number happens the most? 16. There's 2 of them. And then range is you take your biggest number and you subtract your smallest number. Or in this case, 18 minus 2, which is 16. Okay, so those are the basics of statistics, and we're going to be talking about that later on also. All right, there is your bell work done for you. Make sure that you record that in your journal, and let's move on. All right, so we're going to talk about some 3D shapes here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and name these, and I want you to write these in your journal. It's on page 66. So this right here is a rectangular prism. Okay, and then we'll go and do the nets in a minute. This one is a triangular prism. This is a cylinder. I think it's an ER, sorry. This is a square pyramid. This next one is a triangular pyramid. And this last one is a cone. Now, if I wanted to draw these, like we undid the edges and laid them all out, you get something that looks like this. We get a square here, a rectangle here, another rectangle there, a square here, rectangle, rectangle. So it'd look like that. This one would look very similar, except a little bit different. So we would have 3 rectangles, and then we would have some triangles coming off the ends like that. A cylinder, that one's kind of a weird one, but you know, it has 2 circles and it has a rectangle that kind of is in between them. So it looks something like this. Kind of weird looking. This right here, the square pyramid, you would have a square, and then off of every edge, you would have a triangle. This one, you would have a triangle base, and then a triangle, and a triangle. And the cone is probably the hardest one to draw because of that weird, the base is easy because you got, a circle, but to show and represent what it looks like is kind of a weird one. We're going to actually play with that on a program so you can kind of see what that looks like later on. So anyway, there are your notes there. Let's move on. Okay, so this is a little bit different. For your practice today, there in Schoology, there is another video, and you'll see that it is called Shape Nets. So there's a video that you're going to go in, and it's going to be a video that gives you some different little cards, and then you're going to have to choose the answer, and that goes with this paper, okay? So it's going to give you a card, and you're going to have to make a decision. Is it A or B? And so you'll write your answers right there. After you go through that activity, and you get your answers and see which ones you got right and which ones you got wrong, so it's in the video, you have to go do that. You're going to come here and you're going to do this little activity. That's your practice. You're going to be doing that as your practice. So stop the video right here, go back into Schoology, watch the other video, and do those two activities. When you're done, come back to this video and go on to your assignment. Okay, hopefully you had a fun time doing that practice. Now, you're going to need to do this assignment. And some of you will really like this assignment, and some of you will be like, what? I don't know about that. So this is your assignment. You're going to go in and you're going to name the 3D shape and draw the net. So you're going to name what these are. Now, you should know those because I gave them to you in your notes. You also did practice to go through that, so you should know it. And after you get this done, there is a Go Formative that you need to go and enter your answers in there. So don't forget, after you do your assignment, do Go Formative. Now, I hope that makes sense to you guys. It's a little bit different today, but I think that you guys can handle it if you listen to the video. All right, guys, good luck.